What's going on, you all? Welcome back to another Renegade Gaming Stories. Today we are going to tell the story about me moving across the country, driving my car across the country with all my stuff in it to a new location, to a new state. Hope you guys enjoy. First and foremost, I want to thank my brothers for helping me load up my U-Haul truck in the back, as well as, of course, my mom for literally driving her car as well across the country with me, following me basically. So I appreciate her for that as well. So thank you all. Love you all very much. All right. So from my perspective, the story of me moving across the country, driving across the country, something I've never done before. I love driving. Those of you who know me personally, I enjoy driving. It's one of the more freeing aspects of life, I feel like, when you can get on the road and basically go wherever you want. Like, that is definitely something that is very freeing for me. I love visiting new places, as well as, of course, seeing the sights and things of that. So let's get into the story, though. The story basically goes as follows. I was tired of the situation I was in Colorado. So in the state of Colorado, I was basically going around in circles. You know what I mean? Wasn't making enough money to withstand my rent, in the sense of trying to do things outside of just paying for rent and groceries. I was basically like hamstrung, right? I still had to work I had to work two jobs and everything like that. So one of my jobs was at Amazon at the time, driving for Amazon. The other job was for Build-A-Bear Workshop. Those of you who live in the States know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the Little Bear store, the stuffed animal store, basically located in a lot of the malls around the country. So it's definitely one of those like great jobs, great experience in both of those aspects, Amazon and Build-A-Bear. I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me and my growth in my career and what I'm doing now. So basically, I was tired of going around in circles. You know what I mean? And what do I mean about going around in circles? Not making enough money, basically, you know. And those of you who know, those of you who have lived on the West Coast / Midwest, understand that certain states' cost of living is very, very expensive. You know what I mean? So when I'm saying expensive, I'm saying Colorado, California, certain parts of Nevada, certain parts of Seattle. You know what I mean? Like, the entire West Coast is pretty pricey for what you're getting out of the situation. And in my eyes, I was in a situation where I was in a 480 square foot apartment. Now, I lived by myself, so it wasn't really an issue space wise or anything like that. I kind of enjoyed it at the end of the day. I did enjoy it a lot, right? But I got tired of not making enough money. So there was an opportunity that did come along for us to move to another state. But knowing me and my mindset going towards things of moving quick and wanting to do things my own way, I decided in my mind, once I heard the news about an opportunity, a possible transfer, stuff like that, in my mind, I'm like, oh, this is my opportunity to get out of this state. You know what I mean? Like, this is my opportunity to do something different with my career choice, but also with my environment. So I made the decision as soon as I got the news, and my mom will tell you, I made this as soon as I got the news, I started putting stuff into place. Meaning, I had to get a job interview out there before I was able to move out there, because I wanted to make sure that if I had to get out of my lease contract, so those of you who don't know what a lease contract is, it's basically a contract that you sign once you move into an apartment. So whether it could be 6 months you're living there, 12 months, even 2 years, you know? So I had to sign a lease contract at the time when I moved into the apartment. So all this stuff is happening like within a week, basically, me making my decision. I ended up putting my opportunity out there. I put a job application in for a place in the current state that I'm in. And I was really, really happy about the result. One of them was for one of the companies I was already working for. They never got back to me. But the other one was for another company that I used to work for, but I worked in like the warehouse aspect of things. I wasn't a driver for this specific company I'm at right now. And I was like, oh, now that I'm 21 years old, because in the States, you can only drive and deliver packages with certain jobs, right? Because of the trucks they make you drive if you're 21 and up, okay? So my eyes, I'm like, oh, this is the opportunity I kind of missed out on because I used to be a package handler with FedEx back in the day. So like in 2019, like 2020-ish. Well, yeah, 2020 or so. Used to be a package handler and everything, and then an opportunity came to be a driver. But at that time, I had gotten hurt with them. So basically, I tried a new opportunity and we made it work. So basically, all that to say, we were I made the decision, everything like that. Shout out to my mom once again. She was able to help me with I believe she helped me with the airplane ticket to get out there and get to the job interview, while I paid a lot of money in Uber and Lyft and stuff like that. But also I paid for my own hotel in the location. So it was awesome because I'm like, okay, this is like my first time traveling out of state without anybody. You know what I mean? Not going to anybody. It's a new state. Haven't ever been there before. Let's see what it's all about, you know? So what I did was spent about 1 or 2 days in a hotel, let my former job know, hey, I don't think I will be coming back and stuff like that. They were okay with it, and it kind of worked out that way. But then once I got approved, once I got everything taken care of here in the current state, then I had to go back, so fly back to the state that I was in, Colorado, and go through the process of packing things up and getting things ready. I kid you not, I've never moved so quickly in my life with anything, but in like less than a week. So after I got the job interview, after I got the job, I flew back, let everybody know the situation, and I was moving as quickly as possible. So what I had to plan out, I had to get a U-Haul truck / trailer. U-Haul trailer. Now, years prior, I was in a situation where I have a car that is able to maintain a U-Haul hitch. But at the time, I didn't know why I was putting it on my truck, but I got it just in case I had to do something like this. And it kind of all came full circle with that. So I had gotten a hitch already. That was a U-Haul hitch that hitches up to the back of your car, and basically you can move your entire place across the country without a whole lot of issues. Okay, so it was an interesting process, interesting situation. I was very happy with what I was doing. Made all the necessary arrangements, let people know, hey, I'm not going to be coming back to this job. I'm sorry. It's a life-changing event and stuff like that. All that, and then on the day of the driving out, brought my brothers over. They helped me out, load up the trailer and stuff like that. Drove them back home, and then my mom was also ready in the process. So we drove basically through, I want to say 4 or 5 states. It was a great experience. I'm very happy that I was able to do it. Now, along the way, it's tricky because what it is as well is a lot of people don't understand time zones, right? So living in Colorado, that is the Midwest time zone, right? It's the same time it is in Colorado in like Kansas. It's the same time in places close to Kansas, right? Like that. But once you start getting into, like, I want to say maybe Kentucky or Tennessee, you start realizing, okay, this is Eastern time now. So it's 2 hours ahead basically, right? And that's when I started realizing, I'm like, oh crap, this is a little different, especially when you're sleeping in your car, right? And you wake up in like the middle of the morning because traffic is the least. And it's crazy because me and my mom had to do that a couple times where we would rest about an hour or two. We wouldn't get up and keep on driving, you know what I mean? Because we wanted to get there by a certain point, and we did get there by that certain point, and I was very thankful. But there's always a but to one of these things. The only issue I had, let me say this. The only issues I had along the road was, one, my trailer wasn't hooked on correctly. So what do I mean by that? My trailer was hooked on, it just had chains dangling. So what does that entail? Chains dangling means basically this. If you're driving at a high speed with chains that are hitting the ground continuously, sparks can come, right? Sparks will fly up into your car, into the trailer, and you may have an issue there. You know what I mean? There will be things that catch fire. The only reason I knew about the chains is because my mom, again, a blessing right here, a blessing. I'm so thankful that she was driving behind me, was that my mom was driving behind me. And one time when one of the trips going, right, after taking a little bit of a break, she was watching sparks fly up from those chains that were hanging low. Now, granted, at the time, I was like, Mom, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But then I realized if I didn't listen, or if I even drove by myself, like, that's the crazy thing about how this life is, guys. Like, certain things happen for a reason, right? I'm thankful she went with me, because if I wasn't paying attention, my trailer could have caught on fire, my car could have caught on fire, and I probably wouldn't be here telling you this story. So, at the end of the day, how they put the trailer on the truck, it was super low, right? It was super low, because at the end of the day, you're basically putting your entire apartment into one small trailer, right? Of course, you're getting rid of a few things here and there, but you're not getting rid of everything, you know? But it was super low, and I realized, oh, let me tie these chains up. She let me know, hey, you should tie those chains up. I'm happy that I listened, you know? The other issue on the trip was a truck driver who was sleep deprived. So what does sleep deprived mean? Sleep deprived is someone who doesn't get enough sleep before they get out on the road. And that's super common for truckers. You know what I'm saying? That's super common for truckers. And what was happening with him was his trailer was swerving, like in and out of the lanes. Those of you who know how the highway works, trucks like that are that big should not be swerving in and out of lanes without a turn signal. But they also should not be swerving at all. With this guy, he nearly ran me off the road. My mom's a witness as well. She was like, literally, it's like it was a movie. Now, many of you might laugh about that, but it's like it was a movie where everybody behind me backed off. I was driving normal speed and everything, but this truck kept on getting in my way. He kept on swerving in and out of lanes, like blocking both lanes of traffic while moving, right? Well, let me just say this. He didn't like that when I braked, right? Once his trailer started drifting into my lane, that's when I honked. And what I've noticed a lot with drivers these days, I actually have a story from today as well, which is funny, which will be coming up shortly, but still, right? What a lot of people do is when they're sleep deprived, they don't reason, right? Even people who are fully slept, they don't reason well. So this guy, he was having hand gestures out the window. He was like crazed. He looked like a lunatic. He absolutely looked like someone who was sleep deprived. And thank God I pretty much drive for a living, right? Knowing how certain trailers move, how certain trucks go, that I was able to get out of the way, like get to the right side of the road as far right as possible, slow down, right? Let him pass you. Okay, he stopped swerving, then get around him and just sprint around him basically. Drive hard around this guy because you don't want to be next to him or directly behind him because he could put on the brakes at any time and you're going through your windshield. So those two things were definitely something that was an experience. I'm glad I had the experiences at the end of the day because if I didn't, then, well, that's something that I've learned across close to a year basically of having done it is, okay, drivers don't really know what they're doing a lot of the time if they're not paying attention or if they are sleep deprived. And it's really dangerous on the road, especially when a 64-footer is swerving into your lane trying to cut you off and not realizing he's doing it. Or maybe realizing he's doing it, he's just trying to be someone who is an ass, right? Who is incredibly annoying and he's trying to irritate you. So all that to say, guys, we did get to the destination on the East Coast very safely. I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be able to do that because I love driving. I love experimenting new things. I love getting out there on the road and just chilling. You know what I mean? I just love that aspect of my current job, but also that aspect of when we decided to do that, when my mom and I decided to drive across the country. So thankful, I'm blessed. I thank the Lord for watching over me as I continue to do the things I do every single day, whether it's on YouTube or whether it is at my job. So thank you all for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.